Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it.
Lee, man.
Hey,
We're here, man.
we are.
I got it fixed, man.
You got it fixed. I'm glad I pulled my microphone around.
I know, man. It's up, man.
Hey, by the way, you might want your mic in front of your face.
Yeah,
pal.
you might want to put it so they can hear you.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I mean, it's part of it.
Oh, man. It's always fun. The whole background side to getting things set up. If they only knew.
If they only
knew.
Probably got to come out with a blooper reel.
I know, man.
To show all the footage of
like record us as we're getting ready.
Yeah,
it'd
like
be
if
hilarious.
it would be
hilarious.
Show you the picture that I took of your face. The people would never forget it.
They would. They would. They really would. But yeah, man, it kind of ties in to what
I think so.
It really does.
I think it does.
Because like I've always like the control portion. Like you want to be able to control things, or at least kind of like to a certain extent.
You want to feel.
But do you honestly? Do you really think we control things?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
In the thought process for this, especially for the scene that we're going to create.
Yes.
Controlling the controllables, it makes it a lot of moving parts, and then when you tie it in to see like it's probably God that's orchestrating this whole thing.
It really is, man.
So if we say, okay, well, we plan to meet up. We say, hey, we're gonna go tubing.
Yes.
Carter K River. The initial conversation happened in
it was
February.
Months.
And we're like, hey, we're gonna plan a tubing.
Yeah.
I think it ended up being Memorial Day weekend. We were just saying I was just putting out feelers to see okay, who would be interested if we really put this together, and that we got good feedback like, oh, we're in.
Right.
So then actually put up our meetup, put the event out, and then a lot of people RSVP'd, man.
They really did.
Yeah,
from what you were telling me.
Huge turnout.
Yeah.
Now that's where it says control the controllables. So, there's only certain facts. Like you've been on this river too, man. Mm-hmm. I've been on the river too, man. If you go to the website, it's they're telling you in February. They're telling you like, okay, it's closed for the season. We'll open up.
Right. Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend.
You got to get it set up.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, do I just go? What facts do I tell the people? I don't want to look like mediocre. I want to be magnificent. I want to have all the facts. I want to be professional. Put out the stuff. So I worded on the description very intentional, like something to be determined. Price may vary, subject to change.
Because the unknown.
That kind of. So the only thing I can control is. Okay, well, let me put it out. Okay, people want to do it. Let me get something out so people can commit.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing with that. If you haven't realized, there is a thing with it.
Yes.
Like saying you'll go verbally compared to like going on something and RSVP.
Yeah.
There is an energetic change.
It's a different energy.
It really is. And then I've kind of learned that energy, so I mess with people like, hey, man, are you going? I'm like, Yeah, I'm going. I plan on going. Have you RSVP? He was like, no, not yet. Well, are you going to? Because I just know it takes it.
Right.
But
it's a different level.
Yeah, it takes it up a
It's
level.
a
That's
level.
controlling controls. But so here we are. So I'm like, oh man, and you know, I'm calling, and no one ever answers. Like the answer machine says, "We're closed for the season. We'll open up Memorial Day weekend," and that's standard. So that's not nothing. So it's like, okay, well, but if you want to contact and reach out to me, you can, you know, go to social media and send us a direct message. You know.
Yeah.
So something in my spirit, I'm like, man, I need to reach out to these people.
Yeah.
Well, the place that we initially wanted to go to for this tubing, the owner sold the land, and the person that was doing the river, instead of trying to move, they dissolved the business.
Yeah, they dissolved it.
So I'm like, okay, man, I done put it out to we're tubing. The answer machine, all the stuff on the website said,
right,
we're open to Memorial Day weekend. I'm like, okay.
And that's that's
now
what
I got
got
all
me.
these people.
Yeah.
RSVP. All these people are planning on going, and so this is where the controller part that maybe I did good, or maybe I didn't do good, or you will be able to put your spin on controllables. So I sat with myself because I'm a man of integrity. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of magnificence. I want to say, man after God's own heart. I want to do things in the right energy, the right light.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, the place that we're going is closed, and I got all these people that's RSVP. I said, okay. Now, me being me, like some people might be like, okay, and you probably can speak to that before I get into the next part.
Yeah.
To say, okay, I said, well, everybody knows we're tubing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the river we're tubing.
Right.
Who cares?
Who cares
what
the
company
outfit is? Yeah.
I mean, where the only thing in my mind to say, if it was like it went from this price to a higher price.
Yeah.
And you're like, Lee, you didn't tell me it's going to be $30 more each person. Right. Something crazy.
Right.
So you do the fact, look at this like, oh, it's less money for this other one. So same river, same tile, same city. Like,
right.
I just got to tell them, I just got to update the address.
Right.
I said, yeah, I'm not going to put that extra pressure on those people, on all the people that's reserved. They don't need to know that. Because that'll end up being questions that doesn't need to be answered. It's like they're going to pose questions that's not necessary for them. Why deal with that? Why put that on them? Control the controllables. I can control that, and I'll deal with all that. Yeah. So then, with me, what do you think about that so far?
I mean, that's
what would you have done? Would you have been like, man, it's closed, it's done, we're not? Because I could have did that.
You could have shut it down,
but like they're closed, man. It's over.
But that wasn't But that's what I loved about it, because when I got with you on it, I'm like, Lee, is this right? Because on the map it kept saying they're closed, right? And I remember you saying in the whole thing, where it's like, oh, they're opening up Memorial Day weekend, right? So I'm like, okay, so I go online and I'm like, okay, well the website seems legit, but I can't get anybody on the phone. Yeah, it's like, so I'm like, okay, we need to kind of look at this.
Are they really in business? Because I even talked to my wife. I was like, they were like, but if they were in business, they would answer. I was like, well, the tube is seasonal. Like, why would the person that's working? They're not working.
And that was another layer.
It's closed for the season, so you're kind of like, you can't control that. You're just
but through the whole thing, the main goal was to go tubing,
and that's all you can control.
That was it. Yep. That was it.
Yep. To say, go to. Let me hold on to what I can control. Yeah. And what I can control is people are willing to go tubing. Yes. We're going tubing. It was still the same city, same river,
same thing,
just different place. So I was like, I'm like, it'll be fine. So then when I start researching the other company, because we went with the company that closed. You went with the company that we ended up transferring to before. Right. So interesting. So I ended up reaching out to them, like not playing those games. Like, hey man, are y'all tubing? What's going on? Right. And then the guy was, oh yeah, man, we're just waiting on you.
Wait
like,
on you, man.
Yeah, like one of them kind. Like it brought me back. Like went back to my old whitewater rafting guide days.
Yeah.
He was like, "We're just waiting on you, man. We're ready to go." Like, so I'm like, "Okay, yeah, this is my kind of guy. That's cool." So he was like, "When y'all plan on coming?" I was like, "Oh yeah, we're coming Memorial Day weekend, man. We're ready to go." He's like, "All right, man." It's like, "There's a bridge out. Let me send you the directions." So then I got all these people.
So now you got that layer.
I got all these people, RSVP. Now they've understand that the address has changed because I'm just going to update the event.
Yeah.
But now it's like the man point blank says, if you put the address in your GPS,
it's going to take you where the bridge is out.
Yeah. You're going to go and the bridge is going to be out and you're going to have to circle around and you're not going to find it. And you're probably going to get angry and just be like, if you're like me, I'll just turn around and go home.
Tap out. Yeah.
Right. So he said, like, you tell your people, put this address in to get to the place. And then from that GPS coordinate, put in there, and then you'll have been around the hour. I was like, oh, man, that's spot on. So I wanted to make sure, because I got people of all different skill set, life exposure, age ranges. I'm like, so I want to put, I'm calling. I'm not just going to say, hey, do this.
Right.
Like, I need to confirm to say, but I can control that.
Yeah,
see, so I control that. To say, hey, this is the facts. This is what we got to do. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, to get a confirmation, like, yes, I understand. It won't be no problem. Okay, great. I mean, because we got from my father-in-law to my sister-in-law to, I mean.
A lot.
Yeah. You, your family, all the other people there's people I don't know that's RSVP on Meetup. So I'm just messaging people I don't know. I'm physically calling the people to make sure control. Like, that's what we control.
Yeah.
So what do you think about me doing the time early? Like, the time so early.
The time early. Well, here's the thing.
Controlling that.
Here's the thing with that. You've done it before.
Yeah.
People that don't do it before, they think, oh yeah, I'll get there at 12. I'm telling you right now, by the time we left, you would not want to have been there because there were so many people that showed up. Right. But that's why you do it early.
Yeah, control it.
Because you've experienced, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I knew what was going to happen if we didn't get there early.
Oh, yeah. But even the thought process of like, they didn't open to a certain time, and I had people there before that time.
Well, I mean,
and I know. Go ahead, tell your truthful feelings on it. Tell your truthful feelings on it.
Because we got there early, and I because I was like, they don't open till 10.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there like an hour, almost 2 hours.
Yeah, early.
Before, but the thing was, the situation was different.
Yeah.
You had it on a different tube and.
Yeah.
Which they probably did open earlier.
Yeah, they opened a little early.
Which would have been good.
But so the controlling that part, you're like, well, why did I updated the time just a little bit.
Yeah, you did.
I changed it a little bit. But my thought process of controlling the controllables is when you have that many people.
You have to leave time.
And then it's one thing if we're just traveling right down the road, but people are traveling 2.5, 3 hours. As people are traveling from to get to this.
Yeah.
So my thought process in controlling that controllable is like, I jokingly say, have you ever herded cats?
You ever say that?
Yeah. Because I mean, you get there and okay, somebody has to use the restroom or somebody wants to run and get a snack and I stopped to get a biscuit or it's like, hey man, we're supposed to be here. Like we're getting on the water at 10. Like, so even if you're like, okay, well we plan to get on the water at 10.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's where some controlling controllables, being the leader, the whole thought process is like, are you willing to catch the grief and the slack to be like, man, why you got us here so early? It's like, okay, because I've lived long enough to understand, like, you're traveling from 3 hours. So even if you're like, well, there was a bad accident and we were stuck for 25 minutes. We were crawling on the expressway.
Right.
It's like, well, I factored that in for you. Right. You're still going to make it.
Yeah.
You need to come on.
Right.
Oh, you want to run and get a biscuit? Like, you done found the place, you done got you're good, you see where we're at, where
We're
everybody's
there.
set up.
Okay.
You want to run and get a biscuit?
Go get a biscuit.
Go get a biscuit. So it's like control of that. But the thought process. So the next thing, right? This is where you really so far I've been showing
this is the
so
good
far
part.
I've been showing you what like, okay, well you're endeavoring to control stuff that you really can't. Like, oh, the place closed? Like they said they're open Memorial Day weekend, you check it, they're closed.
They're closed.
But you still adapt and you still like, okay, well I'm gonna adjust. So then we get there, we're all setting up, people are trickling in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh hey. People are also messaging me like, oh, we're not gonna be able to make it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, this came up, oh that. But the reason I'll get to that. Some people didn't show up. Let's just remember me to talk about that.
Right, yeah.
So then we're like, okay, we get there. Out of all the circumstances, we've adjusted, control what we control. And we're like, oh yeah, the bus driver is the first person, first staff member to get there.
Because you didn't tell me this until now.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
The bus driver is the first staff member to get there. Like, oh, well, what run are y'all doing? Like, oh yeah, we're doing the full run, man.
Full run,
yeah,
man.
We're ready.
The
to
whole
go.
thing.
Yeah, they're like, oh well, yeah, if you're doing the full run, don't worry about pumping up because I had already pumped up because we brought our own tubes. I had already pumped up like 3 tubes. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh no, if you're doing the full run, we gotta take you and then you'll be able to pump it up there. So it'll be easier transporting everybody.
And that's and when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Because I was telling you,
yeah, you're like, Lee, what are you doing?
I don't think you need to inflate them because they're gonna do it when you get up there.
What are you doing? Like I was like, because I'm with the other companies, like we inflate and we just walk right over there and then you go.
And this one's different.
It's like, no, we gotta take you. So I'm like, okay, and I get that logistically.
Yeah.
And I was just wanting to be prepared, but if you're bringing 15 tubes.
That's a lot of tubes. That's a lot of tubes.
And it's like, okay, but so then if you even tie that back into like, okay, what time do you want to show up to be on the water by 10 and you got tubes to fill up?
Way before 10.
And people are bringing their tubes, huh?
Right.
We got some tubes. I got tubes for a family member. I got tubes for friends. You brought tubes. I got like tubes. How long are we gonna take to fill up tubes? Huh? Yeah. Like, okay, you're sitting there watching, but me and you are working fill up tubes.
Yeah, they think we're employees.
Yeah, so you're good. You just show up whatever you want. Like, I need you here early so I can be done with that.
Right.
But anyway, okay. Control the controllers. Right. So the bus driver's like, oh yeah, that's fine. So I stopped filling the tubes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll do that. We got it. Waste some more time because we're early, so everybody's still trickling in. People are messaging. We're seeing people. People are running to the store, running to the bathroom, running.
Right.
They got time to do whatever.
Got time.
Some people are talking, laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Then the person that come in to actually take your money,
the one that actually runs the joint.
Yeah, right. The person that's like calling the shots. It's like, we're not gonna be able to do the full run. We're like, why not? Well, yesterday for like 2 hours, it rained 2.7 inches in this. You'd have to be a whitewater rafter or whitewater kayaker to be able to. That is no longer a tubing trip.
Right. It's no longer tubing.
But we're still going to let you go tubing.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the full. And the time that we were planning on being on the river is like 3 hours.
Right.
So now it's like 45 to 55 minutes.
Depending on go down
one run. And they're like, but you can go down multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a blessing. We didn't control that. Because you imagine the company was like, oh, yeah, just one, you're done. Right. They're like, well, we know it's usually longer, and people are going to want to come. It's holiday weekend.
So
they're like, we'll let you
go twice. And then then they said, you want to go a third time or more?
Yeah.
Just tip the jar.
Just tip the
shuttle driver. We'll just keep going.
We'll let you ride again. So we're like, okay. So what do you think so far?
So I was thinking because if you've been and I've been on the long one.
On the long one.
That is
the full.
That is the fun one.
That's the experience.
That's an experience.
Yeah.
It is not an experience I want to do at 2.5 inches of rain in 2 hours.
and 2 hours. Torrential rains in 2 hours.
In my head, that was something new. So I'm like, okay, I ain't never done this one.
Yeah.
But looking at the river, because this is where we dropped off right there at the place.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, man, that thing's moving. It's high.
It's high.
I was like, okay, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. But so the thing is, controlling the controllables in this instance, I was literally like, you know, because the enemy could do stuff or yourself, or we just did a series on it. Like it could be
There's
tested,
different
it could
level,
be tempted, it could be tricky. So you got to see where it falls in.
Right.
But a controlling thing is like you go like, oh man, I done brought all these people up here,
and they're not gonna do a 3 hour.
They're not gonna do the full minutes. They're not gonna be able to do the full experience. Like the water's not even the way.
It usually is. It's kind of a little
like it's got a little brown.
It's a little murky, yeah.
Because it's usually mountain
like
crystal clear water. Yeah. It's rain.
Yeah, it's rain.
Almost 3 inches in 2.5 hours. Like it's a different experience.
It's totally different.
So you're like, you know, you tell yourself, you got all these people up here, and it's like, but there's only a few of us know. Right. A few of us actually know.
Yeah.
No one else knows.
Really? No, really? Yeah, like, really. There's
no
only
one else
very
knows.
Few that knew what was going on.
So it's not to say that to keep something hid or to trick or to be in secrecy, but it's to literally say like, what you have to control in that moment is no one else knows.
Yeah.
And because you know, it's with the negative speech, Lashon Hara, that we talk about. Could you imagine if I was like, oh, we don't get to do the best one,
right,
and
man.
oh, we getting cheated, and oh, we're getting jibbed, and oh, we drove for 3 hours to do 45 minutes, and the water's dirty. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah, that's not
if
good.
I played that.
That's not good.
Compare, and I'm speaking to people that they have
never been
no file to go from,
mm-hmm.
And what we are in charge to do, control the controllables, is we're here to ensure that the people that showed has a good time.
Right.
And we have some people that are brand new, like never been. So this is where, like, so how did you control your own? Like when I was like, they're saying we're not able to do the full run. Like, how did you work within yourself to be like, especially like, so now, like, let's get it. Like, let's just lay out all the facts so people really understand.
Yeah.
Lee's changed the place.
Different location,
even though
it's still the same river.
Still the same thing. Yeah. Like if you really grasp this in your mind, like he's changed the place. The time has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
The bridge is out. So we had to have special directions to go. He makes us get there almost 2 hours ahead of time. And then now this man comes to me and tells me, like, hey, we're not gonna be able to do the full run. How did you work within yourself to still show up and be like, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time.
I was prepared regardless, because my mindset was
prepared regardless.
I'm going tubing. I don't care what it is.
Right.
I'm going to go.
We're getting
in a tube and I'm going down a river. That's
even if we had to shuttle ourselves, we're going.
Exactly. Now, it didn't happen on the Cartacade, so the kids didn't get to experience that part of it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, they were. I think it was maybe Gavin was a little bummed out about it. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
But see, I told him I didn't know how this one was. Like, I don't know. I don't know how this one is. Yeah. So we're both going to experience this together.
We're going to experience it together.
And I'm telling you, even though that it was different, we had a freaking blast, man. Even with 2 deflated tubes that came out of it, we still had a blast out of that.
You had to patch them?
I think so. Yeah, one I got a patch. It's like a
one's other,
but it was like, that's an experience though, man. That is an experience that is gonna stick with you. Like because it was funny. Like we were just
I mean, think about like father-in-law, sister-in-law, Calmest family.
Yeah,
Calmest band, but Calmest family. This is the first
time.
So I'm naming people, not to say, and then certain people didn't come.
Right.
So what I'm saying in the controllables of that. And remember I told you some new people on Meetup RSVP, the new people didn't show. But that was all orchestrated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the new people didn't show because they didn't need to be subjected to this. So the thought process of like, that happened for a reason. Then, okay, this person didn't show. Okay, this person canceled. And it's like, the ones that were there, the ones that needed to be there. And then we were able to introduce some people Because, you know, me and you might be like, man, we want to go tubing for 6 hours. We want to be out there. We have our lunch with us and stop off and swim and eat lunch and get back in, tube some more and stop and swim some more. And,
what did the guy say? The record was like four runs?
4 runs. So it's like, that's us.
Yeah.
Because that's to our level of exposure. But then if you name people's first time, people have never been exposed, they don't know what to experience, what to think, and it's like, okay, you got 55 minutes and you can go again.
Yeah.
And then it's like, they successfully did it. To be like, okay, well, I had a good experience. Like, you didn't fall out, you didn't die, you didn't, you know, whatever people think about, like, oh, I'm terrified. It's like, no, you actually had a good time. Right. And then, so, like, if we use Common Family, they actually went twice.
Yeah, they did.
So to say, like, the control, there's no way that we could have orchestrated that on the all-day one, because then there ends up being a victory to be had to say, if you get out and go again, even if it's still really not your thing, but you've had a chance to overcome something.
Yeah.
Because if it really wasn't, you would be like, no, I'm not going again.
Right.
But you had the opportunity to go again. Yeah. And then you did. So it's like, you can't, that wouldn't have been able to been orchestrated on the phone.
No, it wouldn't have. And the fact that river, that section was way more than what it really is.
Yeah, yeah.
That was another level to
it. Yeah. So, because like, that's the thought process. Because when we go back, because we're going to go back, depending on the water levels, we might not ever see the river like that.
You may never see it like that again.
That section again. Yeah. Like, with the timing, you'd have to live up there to be like, okay, it's about that same water. It rained about that much that time. So what we were able to experience with those rapids,
I mean, it was you went through a rapid, like a legit rapid.
Yeah, like, hold on, you might fall out. Rapid. Yeah. Like, looking back, like, oh man, my people are gonna be good, or am I gonna be fishing people out? Or, like,
yeah, because I had to do that.
I had to. I say control that, but I thought from the first time, and you saw how the second time, when I say the first time, how I helped everybody in the water, help get everybody situated, made sure that I brought up the rear, put you specifically like, y'all go first, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's all about controlling what you can control. Yeah. But there's also knowing there's certain things that you can control, and then knowing who is really ultimately always in control is God. So it's just, but being willing to play your part in it when it is a part to play, compared to like, no, there's nothing to do for this. Like, you just got to go with this one, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's how I felt with the whole trip. Even just getting ready for the trip, there's certain things where, like, you got to prep, you got to get everything ready, packed up, you got a time that you got to leave at, all that kind of stuff plays a factor. And it's like, you've done the preparation, like, you know
what to expect, man.
And then if it's something unexpected happens, it is what it is.
Something unexpected happens. Wow.
It is what it is. You can only control what you can control, but ultimately, He controls.
Oh yeah,
everything.
But then, the thought process, especially like, oh, we're going to, man. We put out another date, and people are like, oh yeah, we're going. Yeah, and then it's not the 2 hour, 3 inches of rain experience. It's really where the people. It's like, oh man, we got the place, we got the time. People's been. It's not new. Yeah. We've shaken off the newness for people. I just think that builds them, because it's, only certain people can go from 0 to Chattooga. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, there's only certain people that can take that. Yeah. And really be able to say, like, and I fell out.
Right.
In the biggest rapid. On the Chattooga.
Yeah.
And be able to be like, yeah, I want to go back. And like, it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So you have to know that and say, okay, well, how do I build people to be like, oh, we're going to Chattooga? Sure.
Right.
Or there's on the Cardigan, on the true full experience, there's a class 2 rapid at the end? Like, yeah, man, but You've done the class 1.5.
Yeah, they got you ready. I mean, that's what rafting does. They prepare you. I mean, when we did the first one you took me on,
Yeah.
they prepared you for the last 3.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's all that is. It's like just getting.
But what's so crazy is we've been. I think I was telling my father this, but we've been on huge water.
Yeah.
30,000 cubic feet per second. When we went, me and my wife went rafting in the New River Gorge in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we booked the trip, planned the trip. Like, so this is a real thing. This is real life.
Yeah.
If you hadn't realized this, it rains places, but it had rained all week.
No way.
Like every day, all day long. The week prior to when we went.
Oh,
and then the day we went, the weekend, like the time we're there,
massive.
It's sunny.
Yeah.
But it's 30,000 cubic feet per second. I don't know if you know. Like
that's a lot, man.
That's huge water.
Yeah.
Very fast moving water.
Yeah.
But when we rafted it, it was like it's almost like you experience so big of water certain places like the Ocoee and the Chautauqua and like the Nullichucky and then the French Broad and like so all the rivers that we've rafted, it's almost gets to the point where you end up chasing bigger water.
Right. Yeah.
Like you chase it. It's like, oh, where's bigger?
It's like the surfer wanting to chase the bigger wave. Like
it ends up getting like, it's like, man, we want the bigger wave, man.
Yeah.
Bigger splash, bigger adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, what's the next adventure? So we're probably gonna take up like whitewater kayaking, man. That's the only way it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Because from a raft perspective, like we pretty much on this side of town, southeast, we have to go probably out west and some stuff.
Yeah.
But you end up being like, oh, there's nothing, man.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's levels to it.
There is levels.
There's levels to it. Man.
There's definitely
and you always
levels,
got to control the controllables.
Yes. Control the controllables.
But on the river, you got to go with the flow.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah. No, you really got to go with the flow. You don't want to go against it.
Because that was funny. Coleman was like, because, you know, I got in. I was literally the last person in the water.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you're already up here with us.
Yeah.
Like,
because you went with the flow,
how
man.
You did that? It was like, yeah, y'all kept like getting off and hitting rods and catching the eddies and the trees and whatever. And it's like, I'm in the flow, buddy.
In the flow, man.
Passing people. Like, yeah. That's good.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's good. We wanted to talk about that, man. Control the controllables, man.
Yeah. I think there was I like the quote that I think it was Dave Samples had, where it talks about control seems preferable to what we typically think of as its opposite, chaos. But I want to just suggest that the opposite of control is not chaos. It is trust. And trust is far preferable than to control. We want to control ourselves because we fear the outcome of letting God be in control. We fear we won't be taken care of. We won't have what we need, or we will be taken advantage of. But trying to be in control is futile because in reality, there is very little we can control.
Very little.
But you do have some.
You do have some.
That you can. But yeah, man, that was, the tubing trip, that was pretty good. When with that the day before when I saw the rain, I was like, oh man, like it's gonna be high.
Yeah.
A little too high.
Just a little too high.
But it was fun, man. We enjoyed it. Yeah. We definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, we got to get another one on the books. But yeah, so you might be like, man, you said a lot. Control the controllables. Control the flow. We'll see how you show up.
Right.
Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.